JoJo's is definitely for the gays, let alone from the musical references, the fashion, and the poses. And it was for us.
And the fact that Dio literally just takes Jonathan's body.
He's wearing green lipstick.
That's the gayest shit of it all.
Now streaming Backseat Binge.
Oh, there we go.
Every time we start one of these episodes, Moya always has like some really crazy question to ask me. Like I listened to one of the episodes and he was like, pick a number between 1 and 10. And I said 6. And he went, interesting. And then he just started talking. So I was trying to think of something like that, but I'm not that creative.
It's all right. Well, hi, this is me on my first podcast ever.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Don't be nervous.
Even though I'm talking to a friend, it still feels like I'm being interviewed.
That's fair. I'm also nervous because I'm not good at doing this without Moyas.
We're all experiencing new changes.
Yes.
Just like people who come out. They're experiencing new changes.
Ooh, transition. Also applicable to Pride Month.
So also, I was invited to come onto the podcast for the Pride Month podcast. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. I get to be a representative of gays. And, you know.
We are the queer council.
It's a small group, but we're very powerful.
We should make buttons.
I would love that. Backseat Binge buttons.
Backseat Binge, queer council.
Yes. Let's fucking go. And listen, I'll make guest appearances for those things. Like, actually, let me tell you why you're wrong.
I actually have the correct qualifications, as you'll see by my pin that I made.
It's like, yeah. So I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you. That's first and foremost.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I should call you Hands because I know you don't love that. So then I was like, are you Daniel? I don't. And then I got nervous and I was just like, I'm just gonna not.
So it's okay. So I feel comfortable now because like I've had a few glasses of wine because I'm an adult. But also, my name is Daniel. I prefer Dan because when people say the full name, I'm just like, it sounds like you're whining.
Or like your mom scolding you or something.
Exactly.
You're in trouble.
I don't want to hear my 6 letters because it makes you feel like, damn, I did something I wasn't supposed to do.
I get that.
Also, my pronouns are he, him, and his, and I identify as being bisexual. And who are you?
I am Sarah. My pronouns are any. They, them are the ones that I like the most, but I also don't really care if anyone refers to me as she, her. As long as you're not being a dick about it, like it doesn't matter. It's
a respect thing. I fully understand that. And that's the one thing I try to get across people. It's not hard. If someone tells you something, listen. That's first and foremost. And secondly, just do it. They didn't ask you to build a rocket from a pile of meat and make it go. They just asked you to say, I'm this. Can you please call me this?
Right.
I sure can.
Yeah, it should not be that hard. And then I identify as non-binary and pansexual.
Nice. Would you mind clarifying for people what is non-binary exactly? Like?
Yeah, so non-binary is for people who don't identify as either being male or female. It's just sort of like there's not really an option for me that makes sense. So this is kind of the category that I fall into.
Got you. It's funny. I do call myself bisexual, and I've met other people who are pansexual, like in the course of these next few years. And me being can I curse on this? We can curse? Okay, fantastic. Me being the asshole that I am, I personally like, it's bisexual plus, but it's not. It is completely different. Mm-hmm. And I want to be the first one to say, like, my bad if I made you feel like a dick when I said that, but I was just being rude. I've been informed by other pansexuals that no, it's this. There's a whole category of things that you miss out on. I'm like, you're right. Yeah. So like say, even as a bisexual man, I'm still learning more and more every day. It's just like, all right, that was wrong of me. And I'm quick to apologize and say, oh, excuse me, I was wrong. Which a lot of people don't know how to do.
I am the first one to be like, that's my bad. I'm so sorry. I'm always great at like, I don't know, or I'm wrong.
Like honestly, every moment I see is a teaching moment. Show me, tell me. That way I don't make the mistakes going forward.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I think for a long time I identified as just bisexual, and then I like social media honestly taught me a lot about like the spectrums of like gender and sexuality, and I was like, oh. And I also like social media, like TikTok especially, I think just gave me a lot more exposure to like gender nonconforming people, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is a different thing then. Because, okay, all right, this is what it is. Cool.
Nice. So, like, when did you feel that you were like, oh, this is completely me. I know who I want to be?
So I think I always knew that I was not just attracted to boys, because I'm going to just embarrass myselse. Why not? It's
June. We can do that. It's our month.
It's
we can
half
do
my
whatever we
show.
want.
It's our month. So do you remember when we were kids and we would get like the JCPenney catalogs like mailed to your house, and then like the phone books? So we would always get ours.
We're also exposing our age from catalogs.
So we would get ours, and as soon as I would get it, I would flip to like the bra section, and I would just be like, nice.
It's funny.
Like, not even anything weird. I would just open it and be like, boobs.
Honestly,
sweet.
I feel like saying around 12, I'm like, I find myself in like the men's underwear section a little longer than I should, like glancing. It's like, I like this. But also, I like girls. And then as it progressively as I got older, it's like, oh, there's a name for this. I'm not just like trying to figure out what I am. And someone's like, oh yeah, you are this. And if you like to know more, these are like outlets you can find. So shout out to my friends who were in college and who had a little more, they knew more to inform me about how to be who I am. And I was like, oh, thank you. So here we are.
That's wonderful. I think for me, like, my gender identity was kind of the turning point, because I feel like growing up and being like a teenager during the early 2000s when like the emo scene was exploding, for me, I was seeing men and women dressing the same. Like, there was no like gender specific clothing in that scene. It was everyone's wearing band shirts and skinny jeans, and everyone has hair, and like I was just like, oh, like everyone is the same, and I really like that. And I was looking at like men in bands and being like, I like how they look. Like, and you know, back then it was you wear as many shirts as you can fit, basically, and then a jacket.
Look. Oh my God.
But that really worked for me because I also was like a twig back then, so I could just sort of pile on and then like hide, and then I was just like, cool. Like, this is comfortable. This is it. And then like, yeah, I never knew, like, I thought it was just I didn't like my body, and then TikTok, honestly, is the place that educated me about all this. And then I was like, like I saw someone one day talking about being non-binary, and then I like did my research, and I was like, oh, I'm not the only person who has felt like this. Like, this is so. At like 29 years old, I was like, oh my God, I just learned something new about myself. Really nice. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, listen, like I said, I fully came to myself in college, as most do. And I was like, oh, cool. And I've also recently, I've come to realize like it's an 85-15 split for me, which leans more heavily toward men. Just, I'm just like, it's so much easier to deal with guys. And it's like, I don't have to jump through so many hoops. And it's like, you're very direct. I'm very direct. I don't have to play a mind game to figure out what you want to eat. You hungry? Yeah, let's go eat. What do you want? I want this. Okay, fantastic. Let's go.
Yeah, I have only ever like dated cisgender straight men, so that's always been sort of like for a long time previously was just like, well, maybe I am straight, and then I was just like, nope, like definitely not.
Like, we like all the same thing. No.
So it's been nice this year because I've seen a lot of people posting about like, it doesn't matter if you're in a hetero relationship and you don't identify, like if you are bisexual, you're still bisexual. And there's been a lot of support for that because I guess there's still for some reason a lot of like biphobia, which is so silly.
That is like, the weirdest thing to me. And also shout out to Moya for this bisexual lighting, by the way. This is really dope, so thanks. But also, yeah. I always found that they always try to put bisexuals in a box. Like, oh, no, you're this. I'm like, no, I like both. It's just how much of both I like. You can't put me in just, oh, you're in this. This is, no. I know what I am. Mm-hmm. Don't do this to me.
Yeah, for me, it's always just women make me super nervous. Like, even when I was single, I would set my dating apps to, like, men and women, and then I would, like, match with a woman, and I would just, like, freeze up and be like, I can't say anything to you. Like, you're so pretty. Oh, my God. And then I would just never say anything.
Like I said, that's why it's a lot easier. Like, I don't have to jump through hoops for him. It's like, yo, what do you want? It's very direct.
Yeah.
So, one thing I'm going to tell you about this, because I did prepare for the podcast, but one thing I never did was look for representation of being LGBTQ plus. Mm-hmm. All the letters. Shout out to the Alphabet Mafia. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you don't like that name. It's so much easier than saying all the letters. Trust me.
I like Alphabet Mafia, and we're a part of it, so we can say it.
Exactly. Like, I never look for representation in the media of anime or just in manga. I was looking for the coolest outfits, which was a dead giveaway, power scaling, and like who had like the biggest move. Like, okay, yeah, Spirit Bomb, fuck yes. So, excuse me, being invited onto here and like having to do research, I was like, what is this? I am going to start watching Yuri on Ice once we're done.
I need to start. I think I watched like the first 2 episodes of that like 3 years ago, and then I never went back to it. But I do need to watch. It's only like 12, so I do need to do that.
I want to say, yeah, somebody I know was put me onto it. I was like, all right, I will check this out. And he's like, oh, we got to watch it. Just like, I can't find it on anything. He's like, oh, we pirated it. I was like, oh, I love that we pirated, because, you know, I'm not paying a service. And shout out to pirates, as we clearly are wearing our favorites.
Yeah, we might be a little bit biased.
So I don't know if you guys can see, I'm wearing the Jolly Roger for the Heart Pirates, which is Law.
And I am wearing this stunning Fire Fist Ace jersey. Shout out to the Otaku Academy.
So, which honestly, I love that jersey, and I think I need to get one for Law at some point too. His fit, honestly, the black and white hat, clean.
He's so stylish. We could do a whole episode about just fashion in One Piece.
And that man wears eyeliner.
He does.
I'm like, because
he does.
Listen, I also could throw in a little eyeliner. I could try.
You sure could. It wouldn't have to be perfect. You could just do a little smudge. It would work. But so while we're talking about One Piece, I was making my list earlier, and there's so much representation in One Piece that is fantastic. Because, you know, there's characters like Bon Clay, who is, first of all, just one of the most fantastic characters in the entire series. And the fact that he also says to Luffy, like, the queers never die. I'm like, you know what? You're right.
And the fact that Ivankov is based off Frankenfurter from
Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
And I love Tim Curry, and
yes.
I think that was like my first real film to see Tim Curry in that. And I was like, who is this? And then he tells you, oh, I'm just a sweet transvestite from Transylvania. I said, oh, okay, fantastic. Love this for you. That was also a gay awakening for me. So
that's
shout out.
That's a good one. Shout out to Tim Curry.
Yeah. And it's funny, I saw a post a couple weeks ago, like, how did you run into Tim Curry? And I was like, you either run into him as you run into him as Frankenfurter, or you run into him as like in different movies. You run into him in Clue. I was like, oh shit. But no, like my first interaction with him was as Frankenfurter, and I was like, yeah, it makes a sense for where I'm going.
Yeah, I think mine was Clue, but that movie is so good.
It is.
Yeah.
And like another thing. Damn, I was going somewhere and I just literally lost it. It'll come back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about Ivankov. Excuse me. So like, I loved Ivankov because like the death wink. Also, the fact that your hormones can change. Their ability is to change their hormones to give them either the male or female representation. It's like,
yeah, I love that.
Dope. And the whole Akama Island, I love the fact that Sanji got sent there. It's like, yeah, you need to learn to not be so horny all the time. This may help you. It did not help that man.
I was going to say he was barking in last week's episode, but that was
It didn't help.
Oh, it was so funny though. He was just like, "I'll be your dog," and I was like, "Oh, this is peak Sanji right here."
Like, stand up, please.
He has no self-respect when a lady is around.
Honestly, same.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I'm not going to bark, but I'm always say hi.
It depends on who the lady is.
Honestly, yo, if it was Meg Thee Stallion, I'm sorry.
Oh, if she wanted,
So once again, Meg, please come to the podcast. Like we love you.
This is like the 84th time we've talked about Meg Thee Stallion on this podcast. Meg Thee Stallion, we love you.
Listen, she was in Philly, and I unfortunately could not go to the show. But a lot of my friends who did go, they dressed up and they were in full costume. I was like, it should have been me.
I don't care that it happened to you. It should have happened to me.
The way that I would have slapped on that UG wig so quick and ran out there. Yes. Just pink wig and all. I'm just like, I'm here. You know why I'm here. But man, I've always seen a theory that Crocodile is apparently supposed to be a woman, and
and that's the secret that Ivankov has on him.
And I'm like, if that's true, that'd be dope as hell. And I really hope that may become a thing. So fingers crossed with Cross Guild that we get more backstory on Crocodile and everyone else.
Yeah, I would love that. And also like just the straight up just trans characters, because we have Yamato and Kiku.
Yes, because clearly Yamato looks like Yamato, but that is Odin, and they've asked me to respect the fact that you're Odin. Not hard.
Right. If Luffy can wrap his head around that.
And that man will give everyone a nickname before he calls you like who you actually are. But the fact he's like, oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah. And he's never once messed up Yamato's pronouns. He's always just, oh, he's over there. Cool.
Respect for my king, because like, he's like, yeah, I got this. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard, people. It's really not.
It is not. If Luffy can do it, so can you. There's no excuse. And then Kiku too. I liked how they. My brain just stopped working, but I like how they wrote like her coming out to Luffy and Zoro, because the whole time they were with her, Zoro was just like, something's up with you.
Like, I don't have a sense of direction, but I don't know what it is. Something's going on.
And then she was just like, oh, I have the heart of a woman. And they were like, oh, all right.
Like, and yeah, they just like, oh, makes sense. Cool. You want to fight? let's help me.
Right. Yeah, you're good with a sword? Bet. Let's go. Yeah, One Piece for sure has, I think, some of the best representation, because it's not like he just throws characters in there to be like, this person is trans.
Right. Like,
there's always like a meaning behind it.
So shout out to Oda. You know what you're doing. Thank you.
Yeah. I also like a lot of series that just feature gay characters or gay stories. Like Banana Fish is probably one of my favorites. Have you watched okay.
Like I said, I was supposed to do more research, but I was like, oh, there's a lot. And I just did a quick Google search of like, oh, these people here. But no, I've been told that I should check out Banana Fish. And like I said, Yuri on Ice. And there's another one to where like the character, and I'm drawing a blank, and I knew the name. I knew it name so I could say it correctly. And now I'm just like, but like there's literally a trans character, and I know their friend is like helping them through high school, and he's like, yeah, this is who they are. Don't mess with them. And I was like, I like that. Like, just protect them. It's not hard. It's really not hard, people.
Yeah, I actually really like, there's a manga series called Boys Run the Riot, and it's about a trans boy in high school, and he makes this friend, and the friend is kind of like a brute, but he instantly is just like, oh, you're a dude? Cool. And then they start a clothing brand called Boys Run the Riot. And it's always very like, it's like his way of channeling, like, this is who I am. This is how I feel. And they work with like a non-binary like content creator at one point. Like, it's just very, very well done.
Oh, speaking of Caroline and Tuesday, I like that series. And there's a trans person in there, and I'm like, oh, this is dope. Can totally tell from the voice and everything, but they wear women's clothing. It's like, I understand. That's not. But when you speak, I'm like, oh, if I heard you on the phone, I might make the mistake and say, oh, thank you, have a good day, sir, until they say, no, it's this.
Yeah.
But voice deep as hell.
I'm going to throw, this one just popped into my head and it's going to sound really silly, but It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Has had a trans character since the start of the show.
The crazy part is, like, I've watched a few seasons on and on, so you want to tell me who his character is so I can, like, pay more attention to them now.
Her name is Carmen. For the first couple of seasons, Mac is sleeping with her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the funniest thing to me is that not once are they, like, rude to her. Like, they're all like, oh, Carmen. Like, they never mess up her pronouns, like, nothing. And then she has surgery, so she gets her bits removed, and then she gets married, not to Mac, and Mac keeps telling them that they have a gay marriage, and everyone is like, Mac, if anything, you're the gay one because you slept with her while she still had a penis. And he's like, no, and then it just all leads to Mac coming out in, like, one of the later seasons. But it was just so funny to me that the show about a bunch of degenerates, like, does not ever get anything about Carmen wrong.
Facts. So yeah, Philly, we know what we're doing. Just oh yeah, I'm from Philadelphia too. So.
Also I have on my list, I wrote Naru Sasu, maybe the best gay rep ever.
Like, if you read that story, Naruto is pining for his boyfriend to come back to the village. I don't care what you say. Like,
Naruto's a BL, and that's really all it comes down to. That's it.
It is very much a love story between two torn men. It's like,
yep,
come back, I miss you, we can train together, like, be my best friend. And like, okay, queer, calm down.
At the end of Shippuden, when they fight each other and they both lose the arm, but then the blood
doesn't make a heart.
The blood comes, so it looks like they're holding hands. And
I thought it looked like a heart to me. I was like, this is clearly,
like, I know what you are. I can smell it. Okay.
I love that little dog. I know what you are. Your month is coming, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's here. Oh man.
Also for anime, I literally wrote down JoJo's ... all of it, because yeah.
So the way that I could talk about JoJo's for hours, and if anyone mentions, like, the slightest hinting of a bizarre adventure, my ears perk up. I'm like, oh, what? Who? So Dio, off the rip, he is canonically bisexual. He has slept with men and women because he also has a kid. Spoiler alert! In a future series, actually, he has multiple children. Right, and it's funny. JoJo's is definitely for the gays, let alone from the musical references, the fashion, and the poses. And it was for us.
And the fact that Dio literally just takes Jonathan's body.
He's wearing green lipstick.
That's the gayest shit of it all.
That part.
You took your rival's body because you were dying and you wanted to continue living. So you were just like, well, he's dead. Let me just slide into his skin real quick. Like, it's so... What? That is gay.
That is very gay.
That is...
Like, to be someone else. I'm like...
Yeah. But not in a way that is Yamato being like, I am Odin. Like, Dio is gay.
Like, you want to be your rival? That's kind of gay, bro. I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, like, the fashion alone in JoJo's is amazing. My favorite stand user is Guido Mista, as well as his stand Sex Pistol, which that number 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, because we don't say that other one. It's a bad luck number. So if you know, you know. If you don't, you need to watch JoJo's to figure out why we don't say that number. I think I'm on that season, but I haven't watched it in a while, so I need to get back on it. Golden Wind is my favorite season of all. Just honestly, just from their, like I said, the fashion alone, a lot of the music references that are given.
REO Speedwagon. I remember the first time I heard someone call him that, and I was like, shut up.
But what really solidified me for that season of JoJo's is the ending. Because why is it Jodeci? Why is it freaking you? Like, I thought that someone had, like, took their time to edit. I was like, Oh, no, this is really... I was hooked when the ending happened. I said, oh, I gotta watch this now because why am I like jamming to this slow jam after I just saw someone get like shot in the head? After I just saw these men dance on a boat, have a dance sequence on the boat, and now here we go. I'm like, oh, let's get it.
Oh boy. This is not really related to the topic, but who is your favorite JoJo?
My favorite JoJo, like I said, it's always a toss up between these two. So it's either Guido Mista or Bruno Bucciardi because I love a good bob. And when I say that thing, it stiff wear, it moved, it had the shine, it had body. Hello. So not gonna lie, I also thought about possibly dressing up as Bruno for it. But I just keep it simple and I keep him on the back of my phone as my phone case because
that works too. Yeah,
that works out so much better. But yeah, I was like, how are we really going to get into this? But as you see, I chose the fit of Law with his devil fruit, his Jolly Roger, and that's it.
We both understood the vibes.
we know. My least favorite stand user has to be Iggy. Even because it's just the dog, and I was like,
yeah, and it was kind of annoying.
Very much so. But I do want to try coffee gum now because of him. So, so I'm like, coffee gum, yes, but Iggy, you can go. I've cosplayed as Bruno and Guido Mista, honestly, because like I said, if you're my fave, eventually I'm going to turn myself into you. And it's funny whenever I put the wig on for Bruno, I immediately start busting out laughing because it's just I'm just like, I can't take myself seriously in this, and I don't know how anyone else took this man seriously in a clean white suit and this bob just walking around. And I think he's 18. They're all young. And
why are his whole titties out?
That what? Chest out with lace. That is. Who are you kidding? Let's go. All right.
I know what you are.
We just need a button for that now. It's I know what you are. This character is, we know. So who is your favorite so far that since you've been getting started?
My favorite JoJo is Jonathan. And I know he doesn't get the love he deserves. So I'm just going to give it all to him because, damn it, he deserves it.
He does.
We wouldn't have the rest of the JoJos without Jonathan. So
truly, shout to that bloodline.
That's my man.
I do plan to get the star tattoo somewhere, the star birthmark tattoo on me eventually. But I'm just like, do I want the burden that becomes that happens when you become a JoJo? Because I don't feel like fighting Dio off for every fucking century because you just want to be a hater.
That's fair.
But also, I do want a purple star on my back. I'm trying to think who else from JoJo's do I like. It's funny, I don't really like when we have to change their names due to rights, but I love the fact that we get a Spice Girl reference. We get in Steel Ball Run, we get an Outkast reference.
Oh my god!
And I was like, yes,
amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I won't spoil it because it isn't out yet. But we get references to Rihanna too with one of the stands. I was like, oh, it's dope.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I mostly just really want to get to Jolene season because I've heard that Stone Ocean is incredible.
Yeah,
and I know who she is in the JoJo's bloodline, so I'm very curious to see how that happened because her dad does not seem like he would be interested in a physical anything with anyone. Maybe
more marine life, but not not a
person. No.
But no. Another JoJo that I do like is I like Pet Shop. Crazy enough, because I like ice based things, and the fact that they have an ice based stand, I was like, I like you. And the Eagles are pretty dope, and the little hat sends me every time because why does this bird have a hat on?
Right. It's like Hattori from One Piece. Just why are you wearing a top hat, sir?
True. And listen, we can come back to One Piece because I can talk about that for hours. And like I know my brain is starting to flow now. If you could have a devil fruit, would you want it, and what would you want it to be?
I think probably the one that I would want would be Robin's, just because it's useful. Like I could let my brain be like in the middle of something and I'd be like, oh, I need to do this, and then do that thing, and it would just be.
We love a good morbid bitch, honestly.
Her little bits of just morbid, they crack me up.
Because she just has a stone face and it's like, yeah, I almost died too. It's crazy.
What if they're all cannibals, you guys? Like, what if no one thought about that? And everyone's like, well, now.
Like, now we did things.
Yeah. I also love that she loves cute things. So just like the duality of my wife. Just.
I think if I was also One Piece, I would want a devil fruit. You guys may be upset with me if I say this, but I kind of want Blackbeard's fruit. I know. Now I know you would think, oh, do you want the Opie no me? It's like, I do, but I know for a fact that I know nothing about surgery, so I would slice you up and couldn't put you back together. Sorry, Chief.
Right.
But with complete darkness, I can just embody you in this and leave you be. Okay, yeah, I got you. Leave me alone. But yes, I do prefer Blackbeard's fruit. Sorry, guys. I'm always going to pick a villain. That's just who I am. Most gays will always pick a villain.
At least it wasn't Doflamingo. Who, let's talk about. He can't be straight.
He's wearing a pink boa. And no shirt.
That man cannot be straight.
No one who walks like that is straight.
He walks like
he has something stuck up his ass. Yeah, so. But no, let me be serious. He does walk like he has a little sugar in his tank. Yo, I'm gonna get canceled hard, but it's okay. I'm cute.
You'll bounce back. It'll be fine.
I always do. Like rubber, I always do.
You and Luffy bouncing back.
I think the Dressrosa arc was just so drawn out for no reason. It's like, oh my god.
And it was all so heavy. Like I got to a point where I was like, this is hurting my feelings like there's not a break. Like it just all hurts and there's so much more to go. And then it kind of got better because Luffy did fourth gear and then there was like Bounce Man and everybody was like, I'm sorry, what? And like even Doflamingo was like, are you serious?
like
what?
Like, no, fight me for real. Like, what is this form? And he's like, this is my form.
He's like, I'm bouncing. This is obviously Bounce Man.
But also, like, once again, shout out to Oda for being creative enough to like give this man a rubber fruit and to be so versatile with it. And like, yeah, he can stretch, but he stretches parts of his body to become different weapons to this and this. And it's like, that's dope as hell. My brain honestly wouldn't be able to do that. Like, oh, I'm rubber, cool, I can stretch. That would be my extent of that. But the fact that he's like, I'm rubber and I can blow myself up to a balloon to make myself stronger. And I was like, that's not really how rubber works.
Right.
But I'm gonna say, I don't know how far you're into it to know what happens, but no.
I'm caught up with the anime, not with the manga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in the anime, they definitely tell you what his fruit really does, and you're just like, oh.
And I love that he can just like do that now. Like like the first time it showed up, it was like this whole big like he's about to die, and then he just did it to fight Rob Lucci, and he was like, oh, just fifth gear, like here we are, and I was like, yes.
That episode where he just speed blitzes him, and Rob Lucci's trying to process the fact that he was just there, and now I'm flying through a building. It's like,
yeah. And then he was like, I'm sorry, the last time I fought this kid,
you only had 2.
He could barely do anything.
You now have 5 gears?
Yeah.
And he didn't even jump to like, oh, let me show you what I've done. He just said, oh no, we're gung ho. Let's go. Yeah. We're dropping the real weights.
Yeah, he was like, I don't have time to clown you like I did with Kaido, but I don't have time to use you as a jump rope. But let me just beat your ass real quick.
Yo, so I love that. I love their egghead designs too, by the way, because the red boots alone, I was like, I kind of want those.
Yeah.
It's funny. One of my friends, she went to the May concert and she was dressed as Robin. And
I love Robin's outfit.
I'll definitely show you this later. But like she did the thing, and I was like, shout out to her for this.
I love it. I love anything Robin wears, basically, because then I get to look at Robin and I'm like, oh,
true.
You're so pretty.
I think my favorite outfit was her alabaster arc outfit, which she had the white and everything, and just like this coat, this white trench coat, and this cowgirl hat.
Yeah.
Fuck yes!
Yeah,
like
I love that one.
She eats every time.
She's never missed once.
Not once. My only gripe about One Piece is that Usopp seems to be getting a little lighter in each season.
Gonna say, like, where they did it with Robin, and now they're doing it with Usopp, and I'm like, you know what? Where is the line?
I was like, guys, I know they're literally in the sun. He should be getting a little tanner.
They both should be.
Hello.
Give them back their melanin. It's just
please,
because Usopp is like super pale.
He is. I was like,
I mean, Robin now is the same color as Nami, which is just not correct.
Because Nami's supposed to be based off a Swedish woman,
right? But yeah, Usopp should not be. He should not be that pale.
He shouldn't be the color of my palms. I'm sorry.
Right. He should not be. Yeah, every time I see him, I'm like, they got to give that back.
And I'm like, clearly this man has C4 hair. What are you doing?
Right.
Please.
Right.
Granted, he hides under a hat, but that's C4. that texture is C4, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we should wrap it up before Moya starts passive aggressively typing on the tablet again.
Such a straight thing to do.
It's giving hetero.
And with that, I probably won't be invited back to another podcast. But yeah, it is very much giving. Heteros are mad passive aggressive. Like, just say what's on your chest. I'm probably not going to listen, but say what's on your chest. But with that being said, I'm Dan. It was nice talking to you, Sarah, and I had a great time.
I'm glad. Let us know in the comments what are your favorite representations of queer people, queer stories. Happy Pride. See you next time.
Hey, also, if you do JoJo's, you just have to start from part 1. I will know if you skipped.
Exactly.
If you skip, you're trash to me.
Facts.
Just FYI.
Facts. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Watch out for Medusa. You know money seduces. It'll make you douche. It'll make you throw the deuces. Careful what you wish. It might be what you get. And you know the truth is